You heard me before, Melburnians 180 days locked up in their homes over the past, 18 months. Whichever way you spin it, it's a crushing number. Every day that passes is another blow for Victorian businesses as thousands battle for survival. It's a battle made harder by the inability of the Daniel Andrews government and Martin Pakula, the Jobs Minister, to get business support payments approved and out the door. Racha Sleiman is the Creative Director of Willow Tree Events here in Melbourne. It's just one of the many businesses still waiting for money to land in their bank accounts from the last lockdown. Forget about this one. She joins me now. Racha, 180 days in lockdown. Give me a sense of how this has impacted your business.
It's brought my business to its knees. Something I built from my garage, working from home, raising my 2 children, to employing people, to employing my husband, to building a household name, has literally crippled us in the space of 18 months.
And so many of the stories I hear about businesses, small businesses, micro businesses, work from home businesses, they're businesses that have been started by women and they've been the ones hit hardest. That's got to hurt.
It's a kick in the guts. It really feels like we're in a round of, a boxing match. It's round 1, you get kicked down. Round 2, you get knocked down. Round 3, we get knocked down. We're not in our 1st, 2nd, 3rd lockdown. We're in our 5th lockdown, and it just feels like this might be the knockout punch that not only disseminates my business, but so many other small businesses. And we already saw it happen in lockdown 4. I've already started to see gyms and yoga studios and restaurants and family-owned soccer clubs all closing their doors for good because of the lack of stability from our government to be able to give us a roadmap out of this. It seems like the heavy-handed approach is just to lock us down. They told us it was 2 weeks to flatten the curve, which has turned into 180 days of no other approach. And our Prime Minister, has got 3 of his states currently in lockdown at the moment, and we haven't heard from him from a week. So not only are we being let down by our state government, we are being let down by our federal government.
Yeah, look, and I'm going to make the point too. I mean, if you're in hospitality, they've been hit hard, but they can do takeaway. A lot of people in a middle class job can work from home on their laptops, but events can't happen. You can't run an event from home, can't have an event. And of course, you get 5 lockdowns. People are not prepared to book something, are they?
Yeah, consumer confidence is completely down. It's what if? How do I plan something around the instability of our current infrastructure in the current climate we're in? How do you plan a wedding 6-7 months down the track when you assume that, okay, we'll have some kind of COVID normal, but we've just seen and the government has proven that we had 5 months of thinking, great, our economy is back, we are booming. And then with the click of a finger, snap lockdown. And we came out of those lockdowns into very heavy restrictions for the events industry. So I think what people aren't understanding is that we go into a lockdown and then we come into very heavy restrictions. So from lockdown 4, for 3 weeks post-lockdown 4, we weren't able to still operate because there were booking caps on the gathering of people. So it's how do we instill that consumer confidence back into the people to be able to say, you can move forward and plan your wedding, you can move forward and plan your special event, and you can move forward in planning these milestones to celebrate.
Yeah, look, it's impossible. You've just merged lockdown 4 with lockdown 5, and I've heard stories of people that have had 3 or 4 goes at having a milestone birthday or getting married, and it's been cancelled. Give me a sense of how hard it's been to access support from the Victorian government. I was gobsmacked to hear that you couldn't or haven't even got your money from lockdown 4 yet, and now we're in lockdown 5.
Yeah. So basically, for me, I'm fortunate enough to be eligible for government support because I am GST registered. And for us, we've been classed as the technical glitch in the system, where you've heard them go up in the press conferences and say that it's ANZIC codes not meeting requirements and things like that. All of my details are spot on. And the last time I spoke to the Small Business Victoria hotline, they escalated the issue to tell me basically that you're a glitch in the system at the moment, and there's nothing more they can do at the moment than just wait for it to be processed. So I'm a sitting duck at the moment. But not just for me, I just want to also speak on behalf of the sole traders as well, who aren't being recognised for support. Myself, being GST registered, I'm eligible, but my mum's a sole trader who runs a driving instructor company, and so many of the sole traders are being left behind. We've seen in New South Wales that they've been able to recognise those micro businesses that are absolutely pivotal to the economy, and our government is continually failing to recognise them in our system.
Yeah, that's a very important point, and this goes back to the point I made at the top about women emerging businesses, etc. Victoria has never recognised the micro business, a sole trader. New South Wales has done it, obviously, in this lockdown. If you had, a couple of minutes of the Prime Minister or the Premier's time, this is actually the Premier's issue, what would you say to Daniel Andrews?
My question to Daniel Andrews would be, has he been able to salary sacrifice? Because what he's been asking all of Victorians and all of small business owners to do is to salary sacrifice, to put our livelihoods on the line, to not be able to feed our children, to walk into the grocery store and have to question what you can put in your trolley for the week and what you can put on your table for your children, and to be continually told you're not essential. I would look him in the eye and ask him, are you essential?
And what's the impact? I can tell how emotional this is for you. You'd have a lot of suppliers who'd be in the same boat as you. What are other businesses like you? What are they saying, Racha?
I'm literally watching businesses lose their homes. I just spoke to a business associate today who's had to put her car up for sale because she's no longer able to finance her young family, her child, who she gave birth to in COVID during the absolute peak of the pandemic. I'm seeing businesses close their doors for good. Family businesses are saying goodbye to their legacies. The heart and soul of the economy, the absolute backbone of Melbourne, is small businesses, and we're tax-paying citizens. We contribute so much to this economy, and yet we're still not being heard. We keep being disregarded and not being thought of for a second minute to think that, we'll throw them $3,000 here or we'll throw them $2,000. But in most instances, it costs 3, 5, 6 times more than that to just keep the lights on in most places. Every single week that we are locked down, I'm actively accumulating over $12,000 in debt, and I'm a small sized business. So you can only imagine what the medium to larger scale businesses are accumulating. And then those smaller sized businesses who are supporting their families, who are continually being told, nope, you don't matter. You don't meet the threshold. So you're not GST registered. It doesn't matter. We don't care about you right now.
Well, Racha, I know this is no consolation, but you will have made a lot of those businesses proud tonight, speaking up as strongly as you had. I give you my promise.
Thanks,
you get a platform
Peta.
on this show anytime you need it. Let's hope we're not in lockdown
thank
6
you so
or
much
7.
for having
You need
me.
that platform, but you're very welcome. All the best. We'll stay in touch.
Let's hope so. Thank you so much for your time, Peta. Have a wonderful night.